Welcome to this channel Gain Java Knowledge, and today in this video we are going to learn why we should stop using @value annotation in Spring Boot and what we can use instead of @value annotation. So as we know, configuration is an important topic of every application which has more than a couple of hundred lines of code. In case you are using Spring, you would typically use Spring's @value annotation to load the values from a Java property file. For example, this is our Spring Boot application and this is our configuration file, property files. And inside our property file, like I will declare one property com.demo secret key. So if I want to read this secret key in my application, my Java class, then I need to use @value annotation. Let me go to our service implementation class and I will read the same property from our application.property files into my application file. So what I will do here, I will just use @value annotation. So this is the one way that we can use to fetch the value from our property file. So here let me declare this property name private string secret key. So let me copy this and just print into logger.info my secret key. So let me run my application. After that I will just call get all employee REST endpoint and will check the logs. So let me start my Spring Boot application. So here we can see our application has started and at port number 8080 and here is our secret key. So let me clean these all logs and let me call get all employee REST endpoint. So now I will go back and here we can see on the console my secret key that we have added this statement in our service implementation, and this is the my secret key that we are getting from our property file. So by using @value annotation we are getting this secret key. So here we can see the @value annotation can be used for injecting values into Spring managed beans, and it is very simple and easy way to read the properties file by using @value annotation. So what are the disadvantages and why we should stop using @value annotation? So here are some disadvantages of using @value annotation approach. So what will happen when we will use this approach in our application? So whenever we need, we can use @value annotation in any class, like in our service class, in our controller class, or in any other class. For example, here we have used @value annotation in our service implementation class, and we can read any number of properties from our property file. So we will inject in service, controller and component class, and we can also read the same property in different classes. Like in controller, if we want to use secret key, we can read like this, and in our any other component class, if we want to use the same property, we need to use @value annotation like this same. So that's easy and absolutely what the mechanism is about. So however, this means nothing else than scattering your configuration about your whole application. So every class can pick a couple of properties to use. So you will have no idea or control which class is using which properties. So you will end up with doing a full text search on your project to find out where a single key is used. For example, here we need to rename one property in our application.properties file. For example, if I will rename this property and I have used this property in my employee service implementation and any other controller class and any other component class, there I have used this same property. So if I will rename it here, then I need to find the same key in other classes also where I have used and need to rename. So it is difficult to find. We need to search in whole project and need to rename because there is no separation of configuration and service implementation class. So by using at the rate value annotation in our service bean, we are mixing our configuration with our service implementation. So we want to use externalized configuration. And here is one more disadvantage of this, using this approach. For example, we have defined this property here, but if we are not able to find this property in our application.property file, then it will throw exception and will not able to start our application. So to avoid this type of issues, we can use our configuration properties in our Spring Boot application. So instead of at the rate value annotation, the configuration should be an encapsulated in separate configuration class. For example, you encapsulate persistence layer in DAOs and you encapsulate REST services in a controller class and you encapsulate security in authenticators. So why not encapsulating configuration in separate class? So if you do so, you will have a single point of responsibility to load and get your configuration from. So let me create one configuration class and read all the properties in the same class. So let me create one more package, new package. So here I will define config and inside config I will create one class, Java class load, load properties config, and at the rate class level I will use annotation at the rate configuration, and here I will use at the rate data annotation of Lombok, and we no need to write any setter getter, and here I will use at the rate configuration properties annotation, and here we can use prefix. So prefix we can use, let me go to our application.property file. So here we can go, and here from here we will pick this com.demo as a prefix value, and let me go back to our properties config file, and here I will just remove this, and here I will just paste com.demo, and now I need to read this property file in our configuration file. So let me go here, and here I will just define private string secret key and need to use the same convention. So here we can also define the default value for this, like we need to use equal to and default value. If I will not define any default value, so by default it will be null value. So here I have defined this property. Now I will go to my service implementation class and will read this property by using load property config class. So let me go back into our service implementation class, and here I will use at the rate auto void annotation and inject into my class private load properties config properties. So go back, and here I will just define locker.info using config class to read the property. So here I will just add properties dot get secret key. So this property is available in our application.properties file, that is secret key, we can see here. So it will get this value my secret key 2. So let me start my application, and we'll call get all employee endpoint, and we will check the output on console. So here we can see our application has started at port number 8080. So let me go back and execute this endpoint again, and we'll check the logs on console. So here we can see the logs, my secret key 2, and this is a using config class my secret key 2. So these are the logs that we are getting. So let me remove this application.properties from here. I will just comment it. So we will get its default value if this property is not available in my application.properties file. But in case of @value annotation, it will not able to start the application if the key is not available. So let me go. So if I will start my application again, it will not able to start due to @value annotation, and this property is not available in my application.property file. So let me start it. So we will get issue due to this. So here we can see on the console. So here we can check the logs on console. Our application has not started because this application.property file, we are not able to find this placeholder com demo secret key. Could not resolve this placeholder. So if I will comment this part and just using load property config class to read the property from our properties file, so it will not raise any issue. It will just read the null value, its default value, and we can change default value from here also. So now I have started my application again, but now I have commented @value annotation, and we are just printing this value after reading from properties file. So here we can see our application has started. Let me clear all the logs and call this endpoint again. For this time we will get null as secret key. So here we can see using config class we are getting null. Using config class and from secret key we are getting value as a null because we does not have defined any default value, and by default it's getting null. So if I will default secret key, so let me start it again and check if we are getting this value or not. So if this field is not available, com.demo secret key, then it will get value from here. If this field is, this property is available in application.property file, then it will read from here. So for now we have commented this, so it will load this value from here. So let me start it again. So our application has started. Let me clear all the logs and go to this endpoint and refresh it again. And here we can see we will get this default secret key now. Using config class we are getting default secret key that we have added in our load properties config file. So if I will go back and will uncomment this part, and now I will stop my application and start it again. So for this time it will read this value from here. If this property is available in our application.properties file, then it will read from here. So our application has started. Let me clear all the logs and recall same endpoint again. So on the console logs we can check all the logs. So here we can see using config class we are getting my secret key 28. So we are getting this time value from our application.properties file. So if we are using with Spring Boot, then Spring Boot provides an elegant way to separate configuration from our rest of our application. So like this we can use @configuration properties, and we can use the prefix also. So this prefix will be attached along with all the properties that we will define in our class. So with the help of @configuration properties, we can easily encapsulate our configuration in separate class and avoid the scattering direct to dependencies to your configuration file all over the code. So here we can see now this configuration is just a POJO class, and we can inject via @auto-void annotation or by using constructor in our service class like this we have used here. Here is one more advantage of using this approach. We can also combine properties values. For example, here we have two keys and we want to combine in one values. So like this we can do Control C, my secret key 2. So default, and we want to join, and here we can define one method, public string get key. So here we can just return secret key 1 plus secret key 2. Like this we can return. So this is not possible by using @value annotation, but by using this approach we can do. For now we just need to call get key method in our properties file. So here we will just call get key method and we will get the value. So let me start and read this value. So our application has started. So let me call this endpoint again and we'll check the logs on console. So here we can see now using config class we are getting my secret key to 8 and default is also combined. So default is also combined along with this value. Config properties also supports validation of properties via the Spring Boot starter validation package. For this we just need to use @validated annotation, and here we can just define @no null. @not null, like this we can use and validate our properties. So for now, as we know, @value and @configuration properties annotation both can be used to load external data mentioned in our application.properties file or application.yml file. But as we know, @value is to inject a particular property value by its key into a variable, and we need to inject them one by one, so it becomes long and messy, and we need to inject in each class. So @value approach is less flexible and have no built-in support for validating the data also. And as compared to @configuration properties, it injects POJO properties and it's not strict, and it ignores the property if there is no key in the property file. And our application will run successfully if key is not present in our application.properties file. But in case of @value annotation, if property is not available in application.properties file, it will restrict it to start our application. And if there is any requirement, we need to rename our properties file in application.property. And if we are using @configuration properties, then we need to go into only single class and rename the property there. But if we are using @value annotation, then we need to search all the classes this property and need to rename. So it is a lengthy process. So we should go with @configuration properties. So instead of using @value annotation multiple times to read value from property file, we can use configuration properties file one time only. So that's why we should stop at using @value annotation and we should go for @configuration property file. Okay, thanks for watching this video.